Alright, we're going to find the domain and range of each of the following graphs. Starting with the first one, domain, remember, deals with the x values. Okay, domain is x values. So we're looking at the x-axis and figuring out how wide our graph is. So the farthest piece of our graph that goes to the left and the farthest piece of our graph that goes to the right. That would be these arrows. This arrow on the left is going obviously to the left. So its x value, since it's going to the left, is going to be negative infinity. It's also going downward, so its y value will also be negative infinity. On the right arrow, it's going to the right, so its x value is positive infinity. It is going down, so its y value will be negative infinity. So those are the values, those are the coordinate points for our arrows. Now, if we're talking about domain, since those are the widest pieces, meaning the farthest right and the farthest left pieces of our graph, then we take the x values from those points, and that is our domain. So our domain is going to go from negative infinity, that's the left arrow, to the right arrow, which is represented by positive infinity. Again, we're taking the x values of each of those points. Range deals with the y values of the graph, so the tallest part of our graph and the lowest part of our graph. The tallest point in our graph is here at this point. This point is represented by the coordinate 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 2 on the x value, 4 on the y value. For the range, we deal with y values. Norm, hush. Hey, you're okay. So the y values for this coordinate is 4. If we look at the y value for the lowest parts of our graph, the lowest parts of our graph are these arrows. Okay, and their y values are both negative infinity. Our tallest y value is 4, and our lowest y value is negative infinity. So that's going to be our range from 4 to negative infinity. Pardon me, backwards. From negative infinity, that's our lowest, to 4, that's our highest. In the second example, domain and range don't change. Domain is still the x values, range is still the y values. So domain, again, x values. I didn't put tick marks, so hold on. 1, 2, 3-ish. 1, 2. So I say that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we'll say that this point is at 3 and this is at 3. So this point has the coordinate of positive 3 for the x value, negative 3 for the y value. Okay. So domain, back to domain. Again, we're looking at the widest pieces of our graph, meaning the farthest piece that's on the left and the farthest piece that's on the right. On our graph, the farthest piece that goes to the left is this arrow, and the farthest piece to the right is this dot. So the coordinate for this arrow, since it's going to the left, is going to be negative infinity because it's going to the left, and positive infinity because it's going up. The domain, again, deals with x values. So our left x value is represented by the arrow, that's negative infinity. Our right x value, represented by the dot, is positive 3. So that's going to be our domain. Our range is how tall the graph is. So we go from the lowest point of our graph to the highest point of our graph. the lowest point of the graph is at y value. Remember, y value of -3. And the tallest point is represented by a y value of positive infinity. So that's going to be our range from -3 to positive infinity.